Good morning, Year 10, and welcome back after half term. I hope you had a really nice half term. Weather's been amazing. Lockdown's sort of easing, which is great. So everything's looking a lot more positive. I hope you're feeling positive as we start. Let me go through some important notices today, and then we're going to talk about something not coronavirus for a change today, because other big things are happening in the world. Right, guys, so things you need to know, like tutor time this week after today's, it's really going to be about going back to Glenthorne, what you need to do. So on the 28th of May, the government brought out a new document for schools, for secondary schools to follow, and they keep changing and they keep adding things. And I'm sure Mr. Hume is going mad about it because he's the one in charge of making sure it's all up to date and ready. So the timetables you've been sent, you can throw them away. The new rules mean that we can't run the school in that way with the timetable that was proposed. So there's a new timetable. I've seen it, but like it's not been finalized at all. So I'm not going to say anything about it. It will come out this week, and when it does, we can talk about it. Hopefully it'll be out by tomorrow. It might not be though. Hopefully it'll be out by tomorrow, and then I'll explain it. I'll talk through it, and we're going to talk about school rules when you come back. Yeah, so we'll talk briefly about school rules. Then on Wednesday I made a social distancing rules video for when you're back at Glenthorne, so I'll talk about that and you'll look at that. Then on Thursday's tutor, we'll talk about arriving at school, because everything's got to be under really tight control. And when you come, it's not going to be like times of old where you just walk through the gate with your friends and go in and go canteen or go to BB9. You won't be able to do all that. So we'll talk about how to arrive, what you need to do, how to line up when you get your temperatures checked and washing your hands and that sort of thing. And then on Friday, I'll go through any other changes, because it literally changes every week. I'll go through any other changes the staff have discussed. Hopefully we'll say this is the timetable for the week beginning the 15th, and we'll talk about other things that you need to know. But it's going to be a pretty just information packed tutor time this week. But I'm pretty glad with that, because it's really hard to think of ideas. So at least there's a lot to tell you rather than fill in time every day. So that's what it's like. Watch all week, and make sure you watch Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's tutor, because I will be talking about coronavirus. But today, being as I can't really share any information with you because I'm doing this on Sunday, so Monday we've got a few meetings to sort some stuff out. What I want to talk about is completely unrelated to coronavirus, or it is a bit unrelated to coronavirus, and it's what's happening in America. Now, hopefully you know what's happening in America. It's this picture in the right bottom corner, and it's a really gruesome picture, but I think it's important. I mean, you're all old enough now to see like the truth, and you need to be protected from things like this. This is the murder of this man called George Floyd, who was killed by a police officer, and you can see how he died. He's got his knee on his neck. He said he couldn't breathe, and that was the cause of death. Now, this is absolutely nothing new in America. There's been a lot of deaths of black people in custody. Far more black people die in police custody than white, like far more, like hundreds more. So it really is a standout problem, and racism in America is on another level. Now, like that is like a fact, and you can say it reading books, but I've been to America a few times, mainly to like New York and Boston and sort of like the wealthier, more liberal areas, but I've been to the South as well, and it is crazy. And the level of racism and what people say and all these things is just so different. I'm not saying Britain's perfect, it's far from it. There's still a racism problem in this country, but America is on another level. So this man who's died, he got arrested for writing a bad check. So you don't really use checks in England anymore. Basically, you try to pay for something with a check and you can't find out that you don't have enough money for it until later. So you got arrested for that. So I don't know what he bought, but it couldn't have been more than a few $100s, and he, paid his life for it. Every year, police brutality in the USA is captured on camera, and if you go on Twitter and YouTube, you'll see loads of instances of like black people peacefully like putting their hands behind their back. I've seen today, like this week, and like police beating them up, setting dogs on people even though like they're not resisting arrest. It is crazy, absolutely crazy. And like when I was young, there was this thing about OJ Simpson, who's this American footballer who basically did kill his wife, but he got off with it. And the reason he got off is because the police were so racist and they had such a history of racism in LA that all the evidence that they had, and it was like it was so clear he did it, but all the evidence they had was all compromised because everyone on the force was racist, and they'd all used, like, they had one of the chief detective, they had him admitting that he'd used the N-word all the time and stuff. So there's a big problem with it. You'll surely see it on the news. Rioting is bad, they're burning down buildings and stuff, but I can't really blame them. And people saying rioting's bad, the fact that you've got police officers killing people in the community and disproportionately killing black people, and racist police officers, people who do that job to protect you, that is obviously a problem. And how can the black community in America have any faith in the police when the police are often racist? And there's lots of examples of racism. The police officer here who knelt on his neck has been arrested for the murder, but he's killed people before. Imagine that. I know it's America and everyone's got guns, but imagine that. So it's insane. What you need to do, year 10, is watch the news about this. Watch the news. I've got a news report here that I'll put in the description. Watch the news about it, make up your own minds, see about this, because I know we're not American, but America has a huge impact on the world and culture, and it's just such an interesting country. It is crazy. So it's well worth you watching it. It's really interesting news, and look how this racism goes, because obviously America had slavery, America had Dr. Martin Luther King, who was a peaceful protester, but they assassinated him. So where did that get him? They had Malcolm X. Like the race in America is so interesting. You need to be educated about it. So watch the news and get Twitter, because Twitter has got everything, all sides, everything you can see. So that's tutor time for today. Make sure you watch the news. This is a huge story. People will be talking about this for hundreds of years. Make sure you're watching it, guys. Right, so bit deep today. Have a great first day back. Good luck with your year 10 exams. They'll be fine. Just do what your teacher says and just try your hardest. Right, guys, have a great week. See you soon.